Aloha.
Okay, let's go live. Let's go.
Should I turn it on?
I can't make messages. Is it video first? Yeah.
It's oh, Cincy. Which one do I hit? This one is that one? Oh,
60 is for attempt to see.
Tell
Good morning. My name is Jean and I will be your MC this morning. Welcome to Makawao Hongwanji's Dharma Family Service. Please stand if you are able, and let's begin this service by singing the Vandana Tisarana together in both Pali and English.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance.
Please be seated. We will now sing the Gatha, Gasha with Amida, which will be shown on the screens. Chanting will be followed by quiet meditation.
Namo Amida Butsu, I recite Amida's name with deep joy and gratitude. I gasho with Amida, trees and grasses and flowers, all grow in great compassion. This light shines throughout the world. I gasho with Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seeds sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. I gasho with Amida. Springtime brings the happy birds. Their songs all praise Amida. I join them in Nembutsu. I gasho with Amida. When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. Buddha's voice, my voice are one. I gasho with Amida. When I'm lonely, I recite Namo Amida Butsu. Then I feel great compassion. I gasho with Amida. Nembutsu in work and play. Every day with Amida. Every moment filled with light. I gasho with Amida. Remember the golden chain. Kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I gasho with Amida. In the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the dark Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This great power guides my life. I gasho with Amida.
The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namanda, Vits, Namanda, Vits, Namanda, Vits, Namanda. Let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Sit up straight, align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, you feel energy filling your body. And as you breathe out, all the stress and worries in your mind just fade away. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation. Namo Amidans, Namo Amidans, Namo
Everyone is welcome to offer incense at this time as an expression of gratitude for the Buddha Dharma, the Sangha, and the Sangha. Please feel free to use any of the 3 incense burners in the front. Thank you. Let's all recite the golden chain of love together. Let us begin. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Let us now sing at our altar. Please rise if you are able to sing the Gatha. It will be found on the screen or on pages 16 and 17 in the Gatha book. And now, it's children's Dharma story time.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Nose, okay. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Barkley, don't do this to me now. Live from Makawao.
Live from Makawao, it's children's Dharma story time, starring me, Barkley the dog, and the love of my life, Lucy the ladybug, and our love baby, Dot. Okay, so we have a great story for you today. I'm going to skip over this part. Let's see, it's one of Sensei's favorite stories. Today's story, brought to you by Auntie Jean H., is Tree of Crayons, written and illustrated by Alan Say. This book is dedicated to Master Noro Shinpei. Tree of Crayons, written and illustrated by Alan Say. When I was not yet old enough to wear long pants, Mama always worried that I would drown in a neighbor's pond. Time and time again, she warned me not to play there, but I never listened because the pond was filled with carp of bright colors. The last time I went there was a gray winter day, too cold for the fish to move around. They never came out from under the rocks, and all I caught was a bad chill. Mama would be upset with me, I knew. She would know right away how I got my mittens all wet. But then she must be happy just to see me. "Mama, I'm home," I called. There was no answer. She always met me at the porch, always. I called again, and finally she answered, sounding far away. I waited, but she didn't come out to see me. She must be sick, I thought. Mama was in the living room, folding origami paper. She just nodded, barely looking at me. But there were 2 slices of my favorite tea cake waiting for me. That made me feel better. "Why are you making cranes?" I asked. "Because I want to make a big wish," she said, without looking up. "You're going to fold 1,000 cranes to make your wish come true? Maybe even 2,000. She reached out and touched my face with her cool hand. "Why, you're hot all over." Mama frowned and gave me a silent stare. I hung my head and said nothing. She knew. Anytime Mama thought I had a cold, it was time for a hot bath. 10 whole minutes and not 1 second less, she told me. She was upset. She didn't even rinse my back. Her slippers went shuffling all the way down the hallway, and then a door closed shut. She wasn't coming back to keep me company. I better say I'm sorry, I thought to myself. But before I could apologize, Mama put me in my night clothes. "I don't want to go to bed." "You need to stay nice and warm." "All afternoon." "All afternoon." "Will you read me stories?" "No stories, but I'll make you a hot lunch." I knew what that meant. Rice gruel. Only sick people ate rice gruel. And that's what I had, with a sour plum and yellow radishes, eating all alone and drinking hot tea in Papa's big cup. Then I lay down facing the door and hoped Mama would come back with an apple and peel the skin in a long strip like a red ribbon, and then read me a story. The door never opened. "Mama," I called finally. She didn't answer. After a long while, I heard a noise coming from the garden. Maybe the old gardener had come to clip our trees again. I got up and opened the window. It was snowing outside, and Mama was digging around a small tree. "What are you doing?" I shouted. Mama stopped and stared. "Close that window this second and go straight back to bed." I quickly closed the window and lay down again. She's really angry now, I thought. But why is she gardening in the snow? Is she digging a hole because she's angry with me? I didn't know what to think. I was nearly asleep when Mama came in. She was carrying a tree in a blue pot. It was the little pine that Mama and Papa had planted when I was born, so that I would live a long life like the tree. "What are you doing with my tree?" I asked. "You'll see," she said, setting down the pot. "Do you know what today is?" 7 days before New Year's Day." "That's right," she said, and smiled. Then she fetched the silver cranes and some sewing things from the living room. Finally, Mama sat down. She put a thread through one of the cranes and hung it from the tree. "I've been acting strangely all day," she said. I started to reply, but she shushed me. "If you promise to stay in bed, I will tell you why." "I promise," I said. I was born and lived far away in another country long before I came here and met your father. Where? A warm place called California, she whispered. I nodded. Today is a very special day in that warm place. If you happen to be there now, you will see trees like this everywhere, all decorated with winking lights and small globes of silver and gold. And under each tree there are presents people give to friends and loved ones. I want a samurai kite, I said. You give and receive, child. It is a day of love and peace. Strangers smile at one another. Enemies stop fighting. We need more days like it. She put the last crane on the tree. It's wonderful, I cried. It's not finished, she said. And she brought some candles. I brought some candies from the kitchen and tied them to the branch. I'm sorry, it was candles. And she brought some candles from the kitchen and tied them to the branches. Are you going to burn my tree? I asked. Mama laughed. Just the candles and only for a short while. We'll replant your tree tomorrow. I want to light them. May I? May I? Do it quickly then. Mama let me strike the matches, and when all the candles were lit, she fell silent. She was remembering. She was seeing another tree in a faraway place where she had been small, like me. Mama held me in her lap. The cranes turned slowly, flashing candlelight. There couldn't be a tree more beautiful than mine, I thought. Not even in the place where Mama was born. What present would you like? I asked. Only peace and quiet, said Mama. I mean something from me. Oh, something very, very special, like a promise. Another promise, then. I'm sorry. Something very, very special, like a promise. I said I would stay in bed. Another promise, then. All right. Give me your word you'll never go to the pond again. I promised. I was fast asleep when Papa came home. The next morning, I jumped out of bed because a fierce warrior was staring at me. But it was only a kite. Only a kite. It was the one I had always wanted. And then I saw the tree behind it, my tree. Suddenly, I remembered last night and all that Mama had told me. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. I ran outside with my present. Outside, everything was covered with snow. There'll be another day, Mama said. A fine, windy day with no snow. Plenty of snow to make a snowman, Papa said. Let's make one together. And like the snowman we made, many years have melted away now. But I will always remember that day of peace and quiet. It was my first Christmas. The end. Okay, and that was the story, Tree of Cranes, written and illustrated by Alan Say. Wasn't it a great story? Hey Barkley, what part did you like? I don't know, Sensei, I wasn't paying attention. That's okay. How about you, Lucy? Well, I like the part where it's actually, if you know Japanese culture and American culture, it's a really interesting mix. And the story is told in a reverse perspective. Right? The person was born in California, then moves to Japan and becomes Japanese. Well, that's just like being a rascal dog, being born a rascal dog and then trying to be nice, you know? That's right. Okay. So actually, let's see, I was going to mention a couple things here. I forgot what I was going to say. But the idea of, oh, that's right, rice gruel. When I first moved to Japan, I got the flu, because everyone gets the flu in Japan. And you get to eat rice gruel, which if you've never had it, it's like this tasteless white rice that's been double boiled, and they give you a umeboshi and a takuan, if you're lucky. Well, that doesn't sound too good. Well, it's not, but it's considered nutritious and it makes you warm. So that was that one. The idea of planting the pine tree, that's also Japanese culture. So on New Year's Day, if you see the kadomatsu in front of the temple, it has a pine tree, again, symbolizing long life. Well, that sounds pretty cool to me, Sensei. Yeah, I thought so too. Okay, sorry. Well, gee, Sensei, once again, you didn't write the script, right? No, I'm just making it up as I go along. So we'll just say bye-bye to everybody. Bye-bye. Okay. I have to explain. Sorry. Remember, kids, be good, but not too much. Okay. So I have to explain, sorry, I've been struggling with something like a cold for the past week. No symptoms beyond I just feel really tired and exhausted. And today my nose is kind of running, so you may or may not want to get too close to me. But anyway, so today, aloha mai kako. Good morning. Today I'd like to talk about awakening. And as you know, or you probably know, a Buddha is an awakened being. Okay, so that begs the question, awakened from what? Awakened from what? So, right, awakening is defined in Buddhism as seeing reality as it is. Right? And you think about it, this is the first of the Eightfold Noble Path, right view, okay, and that is defined as seeing things as they are, including yourself. And this leads, so the Buddha's insights and meditation lead to the Eightfold Noble Path, but also the important Buddhist concepts of dependent origination. Right? Everything arises from causes and conditions. Everything arises from causes and conditions. And that leads to the insight of non-self, so the interdependence of all life. Right? It's not possible to live by yourself and just do your own thing. But we automatically think that we're self-centered. This is the human condition. Also, everything that arises from causes and conditions, right, is impermanent. It's constantly changing. Even if I don't like it, it's constantly changing. The next insight, right? If you're born human, suffering exists. Right? Like it or not, suffering exists. And we suffer because of our attachment to not reality as it is, but reality as I want it to be, as my ego wants it to be. I want it to be this way. But if we look at it with right view, with the eyes of wisdom, we see actually it's not like that. It's not like that. So, I mean, I'd like to think that I never get sick. Come on, I got my flu shot, or my flu shot, or my COVID shot. Which may explains why I'm not presenting a lot of symptoms, even though I think I've got some kind of nasal infection. But again, there's causes and conditions behind this. Where did I catch the cold? I don't know. Wrong question. What do I do about it? So the Buddha then teaches, right, that all sentient beings, all human beings, were born into this endless cycle of birth and death, which I've shown you the wheel, the 6 realms of existence. And the basic idea at the time, the basic understanding, was that when you die, you're reborn. It may be into the same realm, it may be into another realm. And so there's a realm of humans, there's a realm of semi-gods, fighting warriors, animals, hell beings, and human beings. So basically, the idea is endless cycle of birth and death. You're born, you live, you die, you come back, you're reborn into another realm. And this goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. When you're born into the human realm, you have the ability to hear the teachings, right? To start seeing things as they are. And so, to end suffering, right, you have to escape from the endless cycle of birth and death. And that's the objective of Buddhism. Everything you study, everything you learn in Buddhism is intended to help you escape from this endless cycle of birth and death. So, Okay, wake up, bing, okay, I'm awake. So what do you do now? I see reality as it is. Now, not everybody knows that the Buddha, right, so Shakyamuni, or Prince Siddhartha, when he becomes the Buddha, he initially hesitated to share the Dharma because he felt it was too profound, it was too subtle. The average person won't get it. So he was going to keep the teachings to himself. And it is said that Brahma, the deity, the primary deity of the time, Brahmanism was the primary, that Brahma had to come down and say, Buddha, hey, you got to share this stuff with everybody. There's interesting reasons why Brahma's appearance is interesting. Because Buddhism emerges when Brahmanism was the dominant form of religion. And everything that Buddhism teaches goes against the doctrine of Brahmanism. But we'll explain that at a later date. So the Buddha gets convinced by Brahma, the primary deity of the time, to open the teachings with all people. The Buddha was also had to be convinced by Auntie Prajapati, who raised him after his mother dies, shortly after childbirth, to open the teachings to women. Right? So the Buddha's initial instinct was to keep it to himself, to eliminate suffering for himself. Then Brahma comes down, his auntie comes down, he gets a slipper out, whacks him across the head, says, hey, I raised you. So Buddhism becomes the first religion to open up the path of enlightenment to women. Right? Brahmanism, sorry if you're a woman, that's not going to happen. You couldn't become part of the priest class, basically. So how did the Buddha teach? The Buddha teaches from the traditional way, master to student. So master to disciples, doing it orally. There's no writing technology at the time. And so these teachings are passed on. So when we do the traditional sutras, right, these are the words of the Buddha. This is how the teachings of the Buddha were passed down from monk to monk. Right? And most of the key sutras that we do, it begins with something that says, thus I have heard. So in other words, quoting the Buddha. The Buddha said this. The ones that we use, the 3 Pure Land Sutras, open with Busetsu, which means the Buddha explained, or the Buddha expounded. So these are quoting the words of the Buddha, and this is how you memorize it. So over 100 years, this was the only way the teachings were transmitted. And let's see. Okay, so the question becomes, right, awaken from what? From what? You're going to find a lot of metaphors, particularly in Shinran's writing, the darkness of ignorance. So we're waking up from this dark night of ignorance. Okay, so what's ignorance? Right, it's not knowing what reality as it is. So we think that the world revolves around me. I think the world revolves around Carrie. But that's not how it works. And the more I think the world revolves around me, the more I'm not going to be happy. And the Buddha's teaching, well, let go of the self. Simple enough to say, hard to do. So again, if you don't know reality as it is, the reality that you perceive and process is the reality your ego wants. Okay, so that's it. That's ignorance, right? Not knowing what reality is. Now, delusion, right, is ignoring reality as it is deliberately, right? So the Buddha taught, right? Pull out the book. The Buddha taught this. This is the way the world works. And you go, yeah, I know that, but that's okay. I'm the exception. I can be selfish. I can do what I want to do. And then you're surprised when people around you aren't happy. And then confusion is defined as, right, not understanding why we're suffering. Right? Even though the truth is there, we suffer because of our attachments to self. Right? But we ignore that. We delude ourselves into thinking, no, I'm the exception. I can understand this. So how, right? The how to awaken. The Buddha's original path is called the path of discipline, right? Becoming a monk. You gotta shave your head. You got to live by all these rules, to give up everything. You got to chant the sutras all day. You have to keep studying and trying to perfect yourself. And so, in the past 2,500 years, how many Buddhas have we found? There's only one, as far as we know. Although you can make an argument there are bodhisattvas, but that's a different talk. So, for the most people, right? You can't become a monk. You can't dedicate your entire life to the pursuit of truth. So what do? This is when the Pure Land tradition, the Pure Land Way, emerges, which is basically Namo Amida Butsu. You call the name of the Buddha. You have sincere mind and heart, so you're free of ignorance and delusion. Right? You're free of the ego. Right? And this is total sincerity. Right? Joy is faith. It's the realization that we are embraced by the other power of Amida. And it's the aspiration for birth, right, to become a Buddha, not because of, I want to eliminate my suffering. I want to eliminate suffering for everybody, all sentient beings. This is the promise of the vow. It says, change slide, okay, sorry. So this is one of the longer quotes from Shinran. I apologize for its length, but it's actually quite insightful. So the words of Shinran Shonin. There was a time for each of you when you knew nothing of Amida's vow. It did not say the name of Amida Buddha. But now, guided by the compassionate means of Shakyamuni and Amida, you have begun to hear the vow. So Shakyamuni represents wisdom, right? The Dharma, the reality, the teachings. Amida represents compassion. Amida says, well, you're not capable of becoming a monk and becoming Buddha on your own. Here's a path. Here's a path. So the vow, the Hongan, the vow of Amida is to create a path, a way for anybody to become Buddha, even though we're stuck in the human form. Because most people aren't capable of becoming monks and following the path of discipline, and many people can't accept the compassion of Amida intellectually, right? Until we understand, I'm not going to accept this. I need to know, right? And again, this is the human ego saying, I can do this, I can understand this. So it's hard to say, yes, the grace of Amida, right? Accept the compassion of Amida. Just let it go. No, I need to understand why. And this is, me too. I mean, actually challenge all ministers, about where does faith come from? Where does Shinjin come from, etc. What is it? And you'll find that most of us are still struggling with it. So, where are we? Okay, so Amida's vow is to save all ordinary beings. That's all of us, by the way. Through birth into the Pure Land. So when we die, we're born into the Pure Land. Right? And this allows us to become Buddha instantaneously, because we're free of the human body, free of the human mind, free of the human ego. We become Buddha, we return in oneness with Amida as Namo Amida Butsu, and we guide everyone to birth. If everyone doesn't become a Buddha, Amida doesn't become Amida. So the vow has been fulfilled, even though we're still stuck here, right, in this human world of delusion and illusion and ignorance. So you have begun to hear the vow. You've begun to hear it. You come every Sunday, you're hearing the vow. You don't understand it, you can't explain it to other people, and you can't find the words except Namo Amida Butsu, which is why we're always saying Namo Amida Butsu. But without a doubt, without a doubt, that your birth is assured. And technically this is called the stage of non-retrogression. On the Bodhisattva path, there's different stages. There's 9 stages to get to Bodhisattva. The one right before it is where you're ready to become Buddha, and you're not going to go backwards because you have seen reality as it is. You've accepted reality as it is. Right? So until you die, you're there, but you're becoming Buddha is guaranteed. It's a technical explanation. It's actually quite fascinating, the 9 steps of the Bodhisattva path. But the stage of non-retrogression, you're not going back. You reach a point where you're not going back. Even if you don't understand it, even if you can't explain it, you just know. And it continues on. Formerly you were drunk with the wine of ignorance, and had a liking only for the 3 poisons of greed, anger, and folly. But since you have begun to hear the Buddha's vow, you have gradually awakened from the drunkenness of ignorance, gradually rejected the 3 poisons, and come to prefer at all times the medicine of Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. So I love this one because you think about it, right? Ignorance does feel good. It is like you're intoxicated. Right? If you do everything they tell you to do, you go to school, get good grades, get into Harvard, whatever it is, success, you make $1 bazillion. Yeah, life is good, and you like this stuff. Right? People are praising you, they're recognizing you, you get rewarded for your performance. Right? But it's all feeding your ego. And we think that this is real. My career, my title, my compensation package, we think it's real. And in one sense, it is real in this world. But in the absolute truth, the realm of absolute truth, it's not real. It's just an illusion. It's a delusion that we choose to have. So it's a lot easier to give in to the three poisons than it is to reject the three poisons. Right? Anger. Say thank you, even when someone does something to make you mad. Right? Say thank you, even when the other person wrongs you. Yeah. Say thank you. Right? Respond with gratitude, no matter what. No matter what. It's easy to say you should just let go of that anger, but it's not easy. Okay, greed. Let's turn our backs on greed. Let's reject the poison of greed. Okay, give me everything you have. Okay, empty your wallet, give me the title to your car, your house, everything. Okay, just give it to me. And of course, we're not going to go, oh, wait. So again, how hard is it to give up greed? I want more. And that, by the way, giving everything, that's the first paramita in Mahayana tradition, right? The perfection of generosity. Give away everything. Folly, stop doing things that you know to be negative karma. Right? So if you're addicted to drugs, you know it's not good for you, but you keep taking it because it makes you feel good. The things that we do in life to achieve success, right? How much of this is defined by somebody else? Right? You have to dress for success was a big deal in the 90s, when the peak of my career. And there's consultants that will tell you how to, which necktie to wear with what kind of shirt. But again, it's all kind of an illusion. It's not real. But causes and conditions, right? This mysterious idea of causes and conditions, for whatever reason, have brought you here, right, to this place, to hearing Namo Amida, to hearing the vow, the promise, which is embodied in Namo Amida. So you've awakened from the drunkenness of ignorance. You've begun to reject the three poisons, and your preference becomes the medicine of Amida Buddha. So, Namo Amida Butsu becomes an expression of gratitude, and Namo Amida Butsu means just do the best you can to help others. It's not going to be perfect. Namo Amida Butsu means Amida has your back, it's got your back in the afterlife, so just focus on the before death. And don't worry about what happens after you die, just worry about what you're doing before you go. And that's basically my short message today. I was actually going to continue onwards, talking about the difference in compassion between the traditional Theravada approach, or the path of discipline, and the path of the Pure Land. But it gets a little bit too long, so we'll stop here. So, mahalo for listening this morning, and may your day be filled with aloha. And back to Jean. Test. Okay.
Thank you, Reverend Carey, for your Dharma message. Let's all chant the Metta Sutta, the Loving Kindness Sutta, together.
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo.
Please rise if you are able, and let's sing Ondok Song, which will be found on the screen. And please remain standing and let's sing the Nembutsu, which will also be found on the screen.
All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. The wisdom of Shakyamuni Gautama Buddha in the Dharma. Namo Buddhas.
Please be seated.
Let's sit together quietly again for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat, place both feet flat on the ground. Sit up straight and align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes halfway, so you're looking both outwardly and inwardly. And just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, think of something for which you are grateful. And as you breathe out, just say mahalo. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation. Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida.
Do we have any announcements?
There's always an
There's always announcements. Next Sunday, for November 23rd, will be Winter Garage Sale Setup Day. There will be no Sunday service at Makawao. It's Winter Garage Sale Setup Day, and Reverend Carey and some temple members will be traveling to Lanai to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Lanai Hongwanji. And here's a quick preview of December. December 6th will be one day only Makawao Hongwanji Winter Garage Sale. December 7th, no Sunday service at Makawao. It will be a day of rest. Monday, December 8th, a short service under the Bodhi tree at 9 a.m. Saturday, December 13th, Mochitsuki. And if you have any questions about that, see Bobby Nakagawa. December 14th, Temple Cleanup Day. We'll have no Sunday service, but all hands on deck to make sure the temple shines for the new year. December 21, Dharma Family Service. We will mark Bodhi Day and commemorate monthly memorials. December 28, Dharma Family Service. And a few more details about the Winter Garage Sale. Setup Day, the 23rd of November. Volunteers are needed to help with sorting, cleaning, pricing, and displaying donated items. We will prepare lunch for the volunteers. There's a sign-up sheet in the office. If you haven't already signed up to help make a lunch, please do so. I think we still have some empty time slots. And on the day of the event, we'll have people volunteering to write up sales tickets and accept payment. We'll need people to manage parking and security. So we need a lot of people to help, so please contact Karen Ishizu to volunteer. Again, no service on the 14th of December, because that'll be our cleanup day. And I think Carol, yeah, no, okay. We'll have a nice lunch served on that day. Carol, gonna make, oh, Bobby and Diane gonna make lunch that day. Okay, give Carol a rest. Okay. And now, if there are no other announcements, everybody is welcome to enjoy refreshments and talk story in the social hall. Thank you.
We do have an announcement. Tony Jones of Maui Specialty Chocolates brought us a bunch of mochi, which is up on the altar, so we'll be having that. Please take some home. There's a lot. There's a lot.
He's very generous.